funny seeing you here right now at this time, at this story time with Uncle Scotty. It is funny seeing you here because I happen to be Uncle Scotty. And this is story time with Uncle Scotty. Hello, thank you for joining us. You may or may not know we have our own mugs. And we are keeping things so fresh, so clean. #Outcast. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon if you're interested in a bookmark and a mug and some more time together. That was for dramatic effect. Was it dramatic? It was an effect though. What was the cause? Done. Cool. As you may or may not remember, we are reading Sideways Stories from Wayside School, a school that was built straight up instead of across like all other schools, like most other schools, like many other schools in the country. I was actually at a school, I used to work at a school that was built straight up, but only 4 stories. So what if school was 26 more stories than that? It would have been one of the tallest buildings around. And only had to walk up 3 flights of stairs every day. Yeah, I can't imagine anymore. Anyhow, the book is by Lewis Jarr, and we've been learning about all of these students, dead rats, and teachers from the 30th floor, the 30th story. And let's continue, shall we? Chapter 19, the 19th story. Miss Zarves. There is no Miss Zarves. There is no 19th story. Sorry. Here you can see. There's no Miss Zarves. There's no 19th story. Sorry. And that's been... No, I'm kidding. We'll do one more. Maybe we'll do 2 more. Let's see how it goes. Chapter 20. Kathy. Kathy doesn't like you. She doesn't know you, but she still doesn't like you. She thinks you are stupid. In fact, she thinks you are the stupidest person she doesn't know. What do you think of that? She also thinks you're ugly. We don't use that word either. As a matter of fact, she thinks you are the ugliest person she doesn't know. And she doesn't know a lot of people. She doesn't like the people she knows either. She hates everybody in Mrs. Jewls' class. She did like one member of the class. She liked Sammy. She thought he was funny. Sammy was a dead rat. But Kathy has good reasons for not liking any of the children she knows. She doesn't like DJ because she smiles too much. She doesn't like John because he can't stand on his head. Kathy once had a cat named Skunks. She liked skunks, but she was afraid that skunks would run away. You have nothing to worry about, Kathy, said Mrs. Jewls. Skunks won't run away. Just be nice to him and feed him and pet him and he won't run away. He may go out and play, but he'll always come back. No, you're wrong, Mrs. Jewls, said Kathy. What do you know? He'll run away. So Kathy kept Skunks locked up in her closet at home. She never let him out and sometimes even forgot to feed him. One day while Kathy was looking for her other shoe, Skunks ran out of the closet and never came back. You said he would come back, Mrs. Jewls, said Kathy. He never came back. You were wrong. I was right. That was why Kathy didn't like Mrs. Jewls. The next time I get a cat, I'll kill him. Then he'll never run away, said Kathy. I don't like Kathy. I don't really care for Kathy. Then there was the time that Damon tried to teach Kathy how to play catch. Damon said, when I throw the ball, Kathy, try to catch it. I can't catch it, said Kathy. I'll just get hurt. You won't get hurt, Damon insisted. Just watch the ball. He tossed it to her. But Kathy knew she'd get hurt, so she closed her eyes. The ball hit her on the cheek. Slow motion. Kathy began to cry. You were wrong, she sobbed. I was right. That was why Kathy didn't like Damon. Allison believed that if you were nice to someone, they'll be nice to you. So one day she brought Kathy a cookie. I like cookies. I don't want your ugly cookie, said Kathy. It probably tastes terrible. Allison said, no, it's very good. I made it myself. Kathy said. If you made it, then it must stink. You can't cook. You're too stupid. She just put the cookie in her desk along with her pencils, crayons, and books. 3 weeks later, Kathy was hungry. All right, Allison, she said. I'll try your stupid cookie. She took it out of her desk. It was covered with dust. She bit it. It was hard and tasted terrible. See, said Kathy, I was right. That was why Kathy didn't like Allison. Yes, Kathy had very good reasons for not liking anybody she knew. But she also has a good reason for not liking you. And she doesn't even know you. Her reason is this. She knows that if you ever met her, you wouldn't like her. You don't like Kathy, do you? I don't like Kathy. See? She was right. It's funny how a person can be right all the time and still be wrong. Here's Kathy. She has a swollen eye from getting hit in the face with a ball and a dirty cookie from 3 weeks ago. It's her fault. I would have eaten that cookie right away. Thank you, Allison, for bringing me those cookies. All right, we'll do one more today just because of Miss Zarves not being around. Chapter 21, Ron. Ron had curly hair and little feet. I want to play kickball, he said. You can't play, said Terrence. Get out of here, said Dee Dee. Scram, said Jason. I want to play kickball, said Ron. Well, you're not playing, said Terrence. Beat it. Ron stomped across the playground to the hopscotch area. Ginny was playing hopscotch with Lewis. Ginny was on 9. Lewis was still on 4, but it was his turn. I want to play kickball, Ron said. So go play kickball, said Lewis. Terrence won't let me play, said Ron. Lewis walked with Ron to the kickball field. Hey, what about our hopscotch game? Ginny asked. You won, said Lewis. I just beat Lewis in hopscotch, Ginny announced. Leslie, Rondi, and Allison flocked around her. Hey, Lewis, Damon shouted. Do you want to play kickball? All right, said Lewis. Ron and I will both play. No, said Terrence. Ron isn't playing. Anyone who wants to play can play, said Lewis. No, we can't, said Terrence. It's my ball. It isn't your ball, said Lewis. You gave it to me, said Terrence. I gave it to you to share, said Lewis. If you can't share it, you can't have it. Oh, all right, said Terrence. But I get to pitch. Ron and I will stand everybody, Lewis announced. All right, said Jason. We'll dominate them. We'll kill them. We'll murder them. We'll smash them, the other students said. We'll see, said Lewis. I'll just show you real quick. This is Ron out here trying to play kickball. His little feet. That must be Terrence pitching the ball. Ron pitched, and Lewis played the 8 other positions. 20 minutes later, they finally got 3 outs. The score was 21-0. Ron was up first. Infield in! Infield in! Damon shouted. Everybody stood within 10 feet of home plate. All right, Ron, Lewis shouted. Kick it over their heads. Ron kicked the ball only 3.5 feet. Todd picked it up and threw him out. Lewis was up. Everybody ran to the edge of the outfield. Still, Lewis kicked the ball over their heads for a home run. Everybody ran all the way back in again for Ron's up. He kicked the ball only 2 feet. Dee Dee tagged him out. Lewis kicked another home run. Ron then kicked the ball a foot and tripped over it on the way to first base. 3 outs. Ron and Lewis held the other team to only 5 runs in the next inning. That was because the bell rang. Lunch was finally over. Ron and Lewis lost 26-2. Ron had a wonderful time. The next day, Ron said, I want to play kickball. You can't play, said Terrace. Get out of here, said Jason. Scram, said Dee Dee. I want to play kickball, Ron told Lewis. Lewis walked with him to the kickball field. Ron and I will stand all of you. Everybody liked the teams. Ron pitched while Lewis played the other 8 positions. They lost 57-2. After the game, Lewis took Ron aside. Listen, Ron, he said, why do you always want to play kickball? You can't kick, you can't field, You can't even run to first base. You just get smashed every second, every game. Hey, now wait a second, said Ron. Don't go blaming it all on me. You're half the team too, you know. And with that, he punched Lewis in the stomach. And he punched a lot harder than he kicked. There's Ron punching Lewis in the stomach. But let's not take this story literally, okay? Let's not go punching people in the stomach. Not very nice, Ron. Even though I do like that you have a high threshold for fun. This has been Storytime with Uncle Scotty. I have been your host, Uncle Scotty. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon if you would like. Thank you to our sponsor, Time. Because what is Storytime with Uncle Scotty without time? It's story with Uncle Scotty. Not as fun. Hope you're doing well. Stay clean, stay fresh, stay fun. Put your collars up sometimes, even when you're at home alone. It makes you feel like you're in bloody England sometimes, looking for something, isn't it? Yes, or why not? Maybe wear a tie. Story tie with Uncle Scotty. Okay, I think I'm just wasting your time now. Get it? Okay, bye.